Right, so carrying on the kind of Christmas theme, one of the things I try and do every year is make some sort of Christmas tree shaped thing, decoration. But be it a small thing that I've turned for the tree or a larger one. Last year I kind of cheated because we've got excuse me, we've got these large pine cones, and they're about this big. And all I did last year was kind of levelled off the bottom of a couple of them, put a piece of dowel in, just 8mm dowel, and turned a vague sort of bucket shape for the bottom of them, and then stuck them together. So it wasn't really that, I had to drill a couple of holes. But this year, I've done something a little bit more elaborate. I've made this kind of Christmas tree shape, which is basically 3 bits of wood which make up the triangle and something for a base, a plinth, because the wood's quite thin, so it needs something to stand up on. And then from there the idea would be to put string across it, maybe with some small glass baubles or something like that. Or if you've got the LED lights, you can these don't have a battery in, but you can kind of tangled up, sort of wrap them around it or across it. And something I've done in recent years as well is make something that lights up for Christmas. I think last year I made this little wooden village with little houses, and when you turn the lights off and turn it on, it's all just an LED battery pack. It lights up and it looks quite nice. And my daughter made some little polymer clay snowmen for like the village square. I'll put a picture of that on, and some of the other things I've made over the years as Christmas decorations, some of which I've written about. They're on the my blog, which you can find a link to in the about section on this channel. But anyway, back to this. So this is again fairly simple. These are all again scrap bits of wood. These bits of wood actually came from the supporting struts for a washing machine or a cooker, I think. So it was free wood, but a piece of wood a couple of metres long from a DIY store, this kind of shape and size and what have you, it wouldn't cost much. I've got a bit of a cold at the moment. Anyway, to make that you need to make a triangle. This one, you can see you've got 2 angles to consider, so one there at the bottom, and then an angle at the top. And how you kind of go about that is up to you. But as a demonstration, I've got here 3 bits of wood which will make up a triangle. So this is the base, and it is roughly 7 inches long or 175mm. And on that I've cut 2 70-degree angles, so from there to there, 70 degrees. So that's the base. And then we've got one side, which is again about 11.5 inches or just over 29 centimetres or 290mm. And that goes there, if I've got it the right way up. And I've cut a shallow angle there, which I think is 20 degrees, so it matches, so it's nice and flat. And then you've got your last piece, which is the longer side of the triangle. This one is probably, this tape measure is not long enough, but it's about 13 inches or sort of 40 centimetres. And again, with an angle cut. The idea is that you put it together, and that gives you triangle shape. So 2 70-degree angles, and then that angle there is 40, and that adds up to 180 degrees. And then all I need to do here is just stick it together and give it a sand, and then put some kind of base on it. Now I've got numerous bits of wood lying about. I've got a piece here. I might even turn a round one for it. I'll just cut a round one out. I've got bits of wood all over the place. If you wanted to make it look a bit more rustic, you could just cut a section of log, stick that on the bottom. But that's as hard as it needs to be. So to get the triangle shape, you need 3 bits of wood, which make up the 3 sides. Your base part, so if you go from this edge, your angle, you can use something like this, which is you can do various different angles with this, or you can use a protractor, or there's numerous other woodworking tools. But you want on here 70-degree angle from this edge going up that way, so from there to there, 70 degrees, same on both ends. And then you can from there work out how big you want it. And that angle there is 40 degrees, so it's a 40-degree angle from this edge that way, so almost 45 but not quite. And then again you cut the angle up here to match, and that gives you your point. And you can do this with hand tools. The only other thing you need is pencil, ruler, saw. You can buy gizmos like this, which have angles on them, so you've got 70 there all the way down to 20, and that'll help you get your your angles where you need them to be. You can also buy a miter saw, so you can buy miter saws that come with a guide on them, which will help you set the angles to what you need them to be, and that makes life so much easier. They used to be about £15 or £20, but I don't know how much they cost now, so they've probably gone up a fair bit, but they are a handy thing to have. But there you go. So that's all you need to make your triangle. 3 bits of wood, and you need 2 70-degree angles, 40-degree angle. And if you can work that out, 70 and 70 is 140, plus 40 is 180. And obviously all 3 sides of it, all 3 angles on a triangle always add up to 180. There you go. So that's that. The only thing you need to do then is glue it together. You can use wood glue and clamp it. I'm going to use super glue because it's quicker. So once that's stuck together, I'll get on and make a base, and then once I've got the base ready, I can fix it to it and just give it a sand, and then we can work out what sort of decoration we're going to put on it. Okay, I'll get on and fix it together then. Okay, so there's my little triangle shape done. Stands up on its own. I could just leave it like that, kind of looks like a Christmas tree. But I'm going to find a piece of wood and make a base for it. I'm still not quite sure what I'm going to do, so I think I'll probably just go for a sort of rectangle base like this one. So I'm going to use a piece of this, which is just CLS timber. It's the sort of thing that you'd make stud walls out of. And I'll just cut a section, perhaps, I don't know, maybe about that wide, so that it is quite sturdy and stands up. So I'll just square this off. And cut it, and so I'll go from that line. We'll make the base. Maybe 3 inches wide. So to about there. Okay, so that's that done. So I'll just cut this now, and we'll fix it to that. Okay, so there's my base roughly done, and the tree will sit in the middle of it, so it'll look basically like that, and that's it really. Excuse me. I'll just put a couple of screws from the bottom into it once I get it where I want it, and there we go. And that's as difficult as it needs to be really. So could do it like that. There's loads of different ways you could do it. It's entirely up to you. But it is like I said, it is simple. So you just need your angles, so 270-degree angles going that way from the base up, and a 40-degree angle there, and the same there, and it gives you the nice pyramid triangle shape. And then you can use whatever for a base. You don't even need to, like I said, they will just stand up. But if you've got kids or cats, then you might want something a bit more substantial, just to make sure they stand up. And there we go, that's it. So I'll get on and fix this, and then we'll figure out what we're going to decorate it with. So there you go, there's one. And this one, as I said, is quite a bit bigger, but the principle's the same. The only difference here is rather than doing the only difference with this one rather is that rather than doing the 40-degree angle here, I decided I liked it better if it went to a point there. So I've still got my two 70-degree angles here, but here that's a 20-degree angle on both pieces of wood, which gives you your 40-degree angle, and it is pretty much in the centre. I thought it just looked nicer like that, but again, you know, it's all, you can make them however you want. This one I might just leave plain, actually, some sort of a minimalist Christmas tree shape. This one will probably put some string in it maybe, and I might even cut some little shapes to go in the middle so it looks like a Christmas tree, or a star for the top. But there we go. I'll fix the base on, and that'll be that. But that's something that you can do with kids as well. It's really simple, takes next to no time, and you don't need a lot of tools to do it. So there we go, 2 Christmas tree shapes out of scrap wood. Alright, Merry Christmas, thanks for watching.